Welcome to a deep dive into a book that's, well, it's more than just a book, isn't it? People often say it's an experience you really live through.
That's a great way to put it. We're talking about Shantaram by Gregory David Roberts.
Yeah, Shantaram, published back in 2003, I think. And it's huge, like 900 plus pages.
Definitely not a quick read. It's mostly set in 1980s Bombay, Mumbai now.
Oh, yeah. And what pulls you in, I think, isn't just the story itself, massive as it is, it's the backstory of the author.
Oh, absolutely. Gregory David Roberts. His life is, almost unbelievable.
Escaped convict from Australia, flees to India, lives in a slum, becomes a sort of doctor there.
Runs with the mafia, acts in Bollywood. It's wild. And the book, while fiction, draws so heavily on all that.
Exactly. So it blurs that line between fact and fiction in a really compelling way. And readers, they often say it's just completely immersive.
Mm-hmm. And the sources we looked at really frame it not just as this, sprawling adventure.
No, more than that.
Yeah, much more. It's positioned as this deep look at crime, certainly, but also redemption, love, spirituality, all against this incredibly rich backdrop of India.
Okay, so our mission today then is to kind of unpack why it hits so hard for people.
Precisely. Why does it become this spiritual companion, as some call it? We need to dig into the themes, the setting.
And maybe what it asks of you, the listener, about your own ideas on meaning and morality.
Exactly that.
Okay, so let's start with the protagonist, Lynn. He lands in Bombay, a fugitive. What's that initial impact like?
Well, the sources really emphasize this immediate, almost overwhelming connection he feels.
To India.
Yeah, to the sheer intensity of it, the chaos, but also this incredible kindness he finds. It's full of these contradictions right from the start.
And they're not separate things, are they? The chaos and the kindness.
No, they're woven together. It forces Lynn and us reading along to grapple with how beauty and, well, brutality can exist side by side.
And his journey just spirals from there. It's not like he's just passing through.
Not at all. He ends up living in a slum. He starts a free clinic, which is just, wow.
Learns Marathi, falls in love. It sounds like he truly embeds himself.
He does.
Ooh.
But then there's the darker side. He gets pulled into the Mumbai underworld.
Right, the mafia connection. And even fighting in Afghanistan, I read.
Yeah, it goes to some extreme places. It's this constant tightrope walk, it seems.
A physical journey, but also sounds like a massive internal one. Spiritual, even.
Very much so. It's presented as this relentless search for meaning. He's dealing with loss, these incredibly complex relationships.
And trying to figure himself out amidst all that.
Exactly. And the sources suggest that's part of the book's power, showing the search for meaning happening not in quiet contemplation, but right in the thick of life, the messy, dangerous parts.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not philosophy in an ivory tower.
Not even close.
Yeah.
It's philosophy forged in grit.
Which leads us nicely into the big themes, doesn't it? Like, crime and redemption must be huge here.
Absolutely central. Lynn's past as a criminal is always there. It haunts him.
But then he does these incredibly selfless things. The clinic, risking his life.
Right. And the book frames these not just as good deeds, but as part of this deep, ongoing struggle for atonement. A search for salvation, but it's not straightforward. It's messy.
And that whole experience must be shaped by being this outsider in India, this East meets West idea.
Oh, definitely. Lynn's perspective as this Australian guy dropped into Bombay, it gives us this unique lens.
Yes, so.
Well, we see India through his eyes, sometimes romanticizing it, maybe, but also seeing the really harsh, brutal realities. He doesn't shy away from either.
So you get both the beauty and the difficulty.
Exactly. And you see how things like chaos and spirituality aren't opposites there. They're tangled up together.
Yeah.
Coexisting.
That's a powerful image. And that dynamic must affect his relationships, too, the people he connects with.
Hugely. These characters are the soul of the book, aren't they? People like Prabhakar.
His guide, right? The cheerful one.
Yeah, so full of life. And then Carla, who's much more enigmatic, complex.
And Abdullah, the mafia figure he gets close to.
Right. These aren't simple friendships or alliances. They're complicated. They feel real, flawed, unforgettable, as the sources say.
And it's in these relationships that a lot of the philosophy comes out.
That's where it gets really rich. Right. Someone compared it to Dostoevsky with a Mumbai filter.
Wow, that's quite a comparison.
It is.
Yeah.
But it captures that sense of deep thinking about life, pain, love, destiny, emerging from these intense human connections.
Even the really difficult or morally gray ones.
Especially those, perhaps.
Yeah.
It suggests wisdom comes through the thick of it, not by avoiding it. There's that line.
Yeah. Which can.
Sometimes we love with nothing more than hope. Sometimes we cry with everything except tears.
Oh, yeah. That really hits. It captures that raw emotion mixed with deep thought.
Exactly. And it feels like Mumbai itself influences that philosophy. It's not just a setting.
No, the sources were clear on that. Mumbai is like a living, breathing entity.
It truly is. The writing style reflects that too, I think. It can be really lyrical, beautiful, capturing the smells, the colors, the sounds.
Like the smell of chai, the street life.
Yeah. But then it can also be incredibly gritty and realistic about the poverty, the danger.
So the writing kind of mirrors the city's contrasts.
I think so. It really pulls you in. The sources say you don't just visit India in Shantaram, you inhabit it.
And all those locations, the slums, Leopold Cafe, the monsoons, Bollywood, prisons, even Afghanistan, they all add layers.
Each one shapes Lynn, changes him. They're part of his transformation.
So pulling this together,
Yeah.
what is it that makes this book so special for so many readers? Why the intense loyalty?
Well, I think it's partly that mix we've been talking about, this huge epic story, but grounded in very raw human experiences.
And the central idea is quite unique, isn't it? The criminal who becomes a healer.
Yeah, that journey of seeking redemption through service in such an unexpected way. Plus the cross-cultural soul-searching, the blend of genres, thriller, romance, philosophy.
It ticks a lot of boxes.
It does, and it seems to really connect with people who feel a bit lost themselves maybe, or people searching for something more, travelers, seekers.
The sources mentioned it changes people. That's a strong claim for a novel.
It is, but you hear it often about Shantaram.
Of course, it's not universally loved. There are criticisms. The length, for one.
Definitely. Over 900 pages is a commitment. And some find parts a bit repetitive, or the philosophical bits maybe a little preachy.
They were overly dramatic, perhaps.
Yeah, that comes up. It's not subtle, let's say.
And then there's the big question, how much of it is actually true?
Right. The fiction versus fact debate. Given Roberts' life, it's clear a lot is based on reality. But there are likely exaggerations, embellishments.
Does that matter, though? Does it make the story less meaningful if it's not 100% factual?
That's the core question the sources raise. One perspective was, it's not perfect, but neither is life. That's kind of the point.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? As a reader, what matters more, the literal truth or the emotional and philosophical truth you take away?
It's a great question for you, the listener, to ponder.
So ultimately, the impact seems undeniable, even with the criticisms.
Yeah, for many, it really does become this spiritual companion. It makes readers look inward.
Reflect on their own lives, their morals, relationships, what home even means.
Exactly. It resonates particularly strongly, it seems, with travelers, people searching for meaning, maybe those going through recovery or big life changes. They see echoes of their own journey in Lynn's struggles and search.
So we've traced this incredible path through Shantaram's world. It's chaotic, it's beautiful, it's deep. Definitely not a weekend read.
No, it's one you live through, like you said at the start.
If you're looking for something to really dive into, something that might challenge you, move you, maybe even give you lines you'll quote years later.
Then this deep dive hopefully shows why Shantaram could be that book. It certainly prompts reflection. It makes me wonder, for you listening, have you ever encountered a story, fact, or fiction that really blurred those lines for you? One that made you fundamentally rethink your own compass?
That's a powerful question. For me, what really sticks is how this story, starting from such a desperate place and escape, transforms into this profound search for peace.
Finding purpose right in the middle of suffering and chaos.
Yeah, it's quite something. And remember, sometimes the longest journeys, well, they start with just one unexpected book.